Hello and welcome to this tutorial. It's creating this small assembly. So this is a three-part assembly. We have a little peg there, a large peg, and a rectangular block that they fit in. So if we go onto the resource page on Moodle, 03 small assembly is the PDF here. So let's get started. This first block, I'm going to put my origin right in the middle of the block. And then we have three different. So let's try and actually we're going to create our sketch on the top plane, and we're going to actually try and make the isometric view the same. So I'm going to create a rectangle with a center rectangle. Let me turn off my planes. So it's 100 to add a few dimensions by 200. So for this first part, that's all I'm going to do. And then I'm going to extrude it. And we can extrude it. We'll extrude it down this time. And the thickness is 30. So there's the block, and then we're going to add a sketch on the top of it. So we're going to do 3 circles. So you don't have to be super neat. We'll control select the 3 centers of the circle and the center point and the origin, and we'll make them all vertical. So now that they're all in a straight line. So now we'll add some dimensions. The large hole is 45. The second hole is 30. This last one is 15. So now all we have to do is add those dimensions that are in the drawing. So this one will be 25. So we'll add a dimension between them. So we'll dimension everything exactly like it appears on the actual drawing. It's probably a really good habit to get into, to just add those dimensions as you see them on the drawing. So that's good. We'll cut that. So you could have used the hole wizard, but we'll just do a through all cut of those circles. So now there's 2 other things. We have the chamfers on each of the holes, and then we have a chamfer on both the top and the bottom edge. So we'll do that top chamfer first. So the chamfer is under the fillet. And we'll select this one. These edges, these top edges. And then you can see you don't actually have to rotate it. You can just find those hidden edges if you hover your mouse close enough to them. So that is a 10 by 45. So we have 10 by 45. So those are all good. We'll click OK. So now it's starting to look close. And then that last one is a 5 by 45. So we'll go in here, add another chamfer. So we'll type in that dimension first, 5. Then we just select those tops of those holes. And there's our first part. So let's save it. We'll save it on our desktop. We'll save it as the block. So now let's create a new part. And now we're going to look at this one. So this one looks like it's a revolved part. So let's sketch on our top plane. So again, with the revolved part, we want to create that center line. And then we will create that profile. So I will add that top chamfer, and then I will just make 2 other sections. So depending on how you're sketching, you do want these relationships, these vertical and horizontals, to be in there. That will help with the adding those dimensions. So this one will be 25. And again, I want to be adding just like in our drawing. So this one is 150. So that takes everything off the screen. So you see this blue dot is actually that center line, so you can drag it out so you know it's there. Remember, F fits your sketch to the screen. So the next dimension will be this one, and this is 160. And then we start with our dimensions of our diameters. Again, selecting that center line and going below, in this case, will get you that diameter. And what's this last one is 60. So I'm not fully defined, I'm still under defined. I still need to do something with this angle because that's not defined yet. So let's go ahead and again try and dimension it exactly like that drawing. Now we're fully defined. So if we know we are going to do a revolved boss, you don't have to close that sketch. You can just get right into it. It knows line 1, which is that center line, is your rotation. So now we put a nice chamfer here. So it's actually 3. So we'll go back to our base part, which is this block, and we'll now, you can quickly, in this new button, we can make assembly from part. So we'll use that assembly, and that brings in our three parts. So we'll start with the block, click OK. And remember, by clicking OK there, you get it fixed. We want to see this F there because that fixes everything in place. So this spatially within our assembly is the planes are all exactly the same as our assembly planes. So these are the assembly planes, these are the part planes, and they're exactly the same. So for an assembly, again, we want to insert a component. We'll start with the big one, and we'll just place that one in. So for circular parts, we'll go to a mate, and when we select circular features, the one we want is called concentric. So that basically is putting circle in circle, and so concentric. So you can lock your rotation here, or we will do that for this time because we don't want these ones spinning. So click lock rotation. If you have a wheel that you want to allow to spin, you can leave that unclicked, and then you can have some motion in your assembly. So that's that one, and then we'll mate this surface with this top surface as it should be. So there's that one. So it's fully constrained, no minus sign there. And then we'll add that second small peg. So that one looks like it'll fit in here. So again, you don't have to push the mate first. You can select the two surfaces, control select your two surfaces, and then click the mate. And SolidWorks already knows that it will be a concentric is the most likely for it to be. And then again, we'll lock that rotation. So now, we have the minus sign because our peg can go up and down, which is not good. I'm just curious how deep we can actually make this. So let's just make it mate. We'll just mate that surface and this surface. So again, control selecting both of those and then going to the mate. We'll put that in its spot. like that. So there is our completed small assembly. Thank you.